Elena stood in the quiet of the dressing room long after the others had left. Makeup brushes rested like fallen soldiers, gowns hung like ghosts against the wall, and the mirror around her glowed with fading bulbs. She stared at her reflection, watching her smile slowly fade into something more honest. Outside, the crowd still roared, celebrating the woman they had just crowned Miss USA. She should have been floating. Instead, she felt strangely grounded, as if the floor had grown hands and refused to let her rise. Her mother would be watching from their small apartment miles away, probably crying into her hands. Her town, the one that told her pageants belonged to rich girls and polished families, would be posting about her as if they had always believed in her. Reporters already lined up for interviews. Brands would call. Opportunities would unfold. But at that moment, alone, Elena reached up and touched the crown gently. It felt heavier than gold. Growing up, dreams never arrived wrapped in velvet boxes. They came in the form of double shifts, quiet sacrifices, and a single mother who studied bills at the kitchen table like a foreign language she was forced to learn. When Elena told her classmates she wanted to compete one day, they laughed. Not cruelly at first. Just dismissively. Like someone shrugging away a cloud. But when the laughter kept returning, it built a cage. Pageants were for girls who traveled untrained, who hired coaches, who took dance lessons, who lived in homes with spare rooms and framed family photos. Elena had none of that. What she did have was stubbornness, a gift from her mother, and the ability to try even when the world quietly said she shouldn't. Winning Miss USA did not erase all that. It only illuminated it. When her team finally entered and ushered her to press interviews, her practiced smile reappeared. Cameras flashed. Microphones thrust forward. Questions poured out rapidly. How does it feel? What message do you want to send to young girls? Do you think you can win Miss Universe next? That last question lingered in the air like perfume. The reporters wanted confidence. They wanted certainty. They wanted big, shining words. Elena took a breath. I think Miss Universe is about more than winning, she replied gently. It's about showing people that someone who came from nothing can still stand on the biggest stage. Later, scrolling through online comments, she saw the divided reactions. Inspirational. Fake. She only won because she's Miss USA. Not Miss Universe material. Each comment felt like a pebble tossed into a pocket she already carried, increasing the weight. The weeks that followed were a blur of training sessions, photo shoots, rehearsals, speeches, wardrobe fittings, interviews, and endless smiling. Every day felt rehearsed, even when she tried to be real. When she finally stepped into the Miss Universe orientation hall, her breath caught. It was like walking into the entire world at once. Women spoke in different languages. Laughter rang like bells. They were tall, graceful, glowing with confidence and culture. Some had entourages. Some already had fans chanting their names outside the building. Each woman carried the pride of her country like a flag stitched to her heart. Elena suddenly felt small again, the way she had as a little girl standing in borrowed shoes that never quite fit. Her roommate, Alejandra from Colombia, greeted her with warmth. They bonded over late-night snacks, music, and silly jokes about tripping on stage. They spoke about family, about expectations, about pressure. Alejandra had promised her grandmother she would win. Elena had promised herself only to be honest. The rehearsals were grueling. There were rules about posture, about camera angles, about smiles that had to look effortless but never lazy. Judges snapped glances like photographs. Trainers corrected everything. Some contestants treated the week like war. Others treated it like a festival. Elena tried to treat it like school. On the second night, she walked past two contestants whispering. She's just Miss USA. She'll probably make top 10 automatically. It's politics. Elena pretended not to hear. Later, in her room, the words replayed. She wondered whether her journey had become someone else's assumption. She wondered whether everything she worked for would be dismissed as inevitable rather than earned. During interview practice, one of the judges asked the question that burrowed the deepest. What makes you worthy? The word struck her like a bell. Worthy? As if worth had to be proven like an equation. She paused, feeling something real push up from inside. I grew up feeling unworthy, she said slowly. Not because of who I was, but because of where I was from. People said girls like me don't make it this far. So if I'm worthy of anything, it's only of using this chance to show someone else that their background is not a prison. The judge remained expressionless. He simply nodded. Afterward, Alejandra squeezed her hand. That was brave, she whispered. But bravery never guarantees safety. It only guarantees truth. Preliminary night arrived like thunder. The stage shimmered. The music roared. They walked with confidence under the blinding lights. Elena kept thinking about her mother watching from their couch. She thought about the girls in her town. She thought about every moment she almost quit. When the preliminary results came, Elena advanced. Alejandra did not. They hugged tightly backstage. Tears ruined makeup. They laughed anyway. Now go, shine, Alejandra said. Carry us with you. The final night burned into Elena's memory from the moment she stepped onto the stage. The world seemed to hold its breath. The host's voice echoed across the arena. Cameras swept across the faces of contestants. Families cried, cheered, clapped. Elena stood tall, though fear curled beneath her ribs. Top 20. Top 10. Top 5. Each announcement felt surreal, like walking deeper into a dream while knowing gravity still existed. Then came the final question. If you were given the Miss Universe crown, what change would you try to create? Her heart slowed. Time stretched. She saw faces everywhere, but thought of something quieter than applause. I would work to change how we measure human value, she said, voice steady. Too often, we celebrate people only after they succeed. We forget kindness, effort, and resilience. I don't want the crown to make me important. I want it to amplify those who already are, teachers, mothers, workers, girls who keep trying even when the world doubts them. Silence. Then applause. Not a roar, more like a rising wave. She stepped back, and for the first time, she didn't care whether it was enough. The final two stood holding hands. Lights dimmed. Confetti cannons waited. The host paused dramatically, drawing out the moment like thread. Her name was called. First runner-up. She smiled, hugged the winner, and clapped as fireworks erupted. Cameras zoomed in. People cheered. For the world, it was not defeat. It was honor. For Elena, it was something in between. The crown had hovered close enough to feel, yet remained just out of reach. Backstage, when the glitter faded and the noise softened, she finally exhaled. She sat down quietly, hands in her lap, letting the ache move through her without fighting it. She had wanted to win. She had truly wanted it. Not for vanity. For possibility. For what she could do with it. But the world chose someone else. Alejandra appeared from the shadows, hugging her. There was no pity, only recognition. You didn't fail, she said softly. Sometimes the universe tells us that glory isn't the lesson. Growth is. Elena laughed through tears. Then why does growth hurt? Because it stretches you, Alejandra answered. Weeks later, life slowed. There were fewer lights, fewer interviews. She visited schools, community centers, and shelters. She stood in rooms without cameras and spoke sincerely. She told girls about losing. She told them about self-doubt. She told them about nights where confidence was something she had to borrow. And something began to bloom. People listened not because she was crowned, but because she was honest. They saw the girl who once cleaned tables with her mother before school. They saw someone reachable. One afternoon, after speaking to a group of students, a quiet girl approached. She clutched a notebook to her chest, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't think people see me, she said. But listening to you, I feel like maybe I can still become something. Elena felt tears prick her eyes. She knelt, meeting the girl's gaze. You already are something, she said softly. Your future is not waiting for permission. That moment grounded her more deeply than any stage. Months passed. Invitations came, not because she wore the world's crown, but because she spoke with a heart people recognized. She helped organize scholarships. She worked with groups supporting single mothers. She spoke with leaders about education. Slowly, quietly, her life filled with purpose. Sometimes she still wondered what holding the Miss Universe crown would have felt like. Sometimes the thought brushed against her like wind, gentle but real. But then she remembered something the judges never saw, her mother sitting at their kitchen table late at night, whispering prayers into envelopes full of bills. One evening, Elena returned home from an event and found her mother asleep on the couch. A blanket draped across her, the television humming softly. On the table sat the Miss USA crown, glinting under the lamplight. Elena picked it up, but this time, it no longer felt heavy. It felt like a reminder. Not of what she had won, but of everything she had survived. She placed it back gently and sat beside her mother, listening to the quiet. Fame was loud. Purpose was soft. She realized she no longer chased the stage. Instead, she walked toward lives that needed a voice. And in that gentle understanding, she discovered something important. Crowns lose their shine. Headlines fade. Applause disappears like echoes. But what remains are the hearts touched, the hands lifted, the belief built. In the years to come, people would remember her not simply as a queen who almost became Miss Universe, but as the woman who walked off that stage and still chose to serve. And somewhere along the way, Elena stopped asking whether she was worthy.